What's good, crypto? I'm your host, Moonboy Marvin, here to bring you a daily scoop on what's going on in crypto. Monday through Friday, we come here to bring you that education, that research, that knowledge Monday through Friday when it comes to life-changing wealth. None of this is financial advice, as I'm not a financial advisor, so make sure to do your own due diligence and research. And if you like the podcast, make sure to share it with your friends and give it a 5-star rating. Share it with your cat's cat, your dog's cat, and make sure to comment, like, and subscribe if you are watching this on YouTube. And if you're on social such as Instagram and Twitter, make sure to give me a follow at Media by Marvin and shoot me a message. Say hi. Let me know that you're tuning into the show, whether it's through YouTube or through the podcast. But let's jump right on in. You guys are here to learn about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is at $44,158. So we are down from yesterday. We're down about 1.37%, 1.59% on the week. And we are up 49% on the month. So when in doubt, zoom out. Ethereum holding up a little bit better, or actually just about the same on the daily. At 2,967, we're down a little bit more on the week. So not too shabby, honestly. Bitcoin holding up. Surprising to me, Binance Coin is up. But there's been a lot of conversations around Binance and Binance, like as in like the chain. Overall on Twitter, there's been a lot of conversations about it because I think there's a lot of excitement on the Binance ecosystem. So it's up to $400. It was actually around $390 or just a little bit below that yesterday. So it's good to see that up on the day, up on the week, and 52% over the last month. Cardano still tearing it up. Last night I had a nice little run up to about $2.15. So we're seeing it consolidate around the $2 mark at $2.05, up basically 100% on the month. And as we go down, some alts are just doing fine. Some alts aren't getting as hit as hard as other alts. Dogecoin's still holding steady. Polkadot's doing all right. Solana got hit 10%, but also it got to all-time highs yesterday at like $80. So if you want to buy Solana at a 10% discount, I guess. But keep in mind that this previous all-time high was like low 60s or high 50s, I forget. So Solana still killing it. I mean, I'm probably going to buy, if I were to buy Solana, and dip down to like $59, $58. But honestly, this might be a decent deal. I don't know what the market is going to do, and you never want to time the market. You have to buy in knowing that, hey, this might go down a little bit more, or it might go a little bit more higher. Like, it's a gamble at that point because it's coming off all-time highs. So 10% off of an all-time high, it's really nothing. But I'm going to wait for that to drop a little bit if I'm going to establish a new position in Solana. Uniswap down 2%. Terra still tearing it up. 400% on the month. That is freaking insane. If you're in Terra Luna, good for you. Let's see what else. Chainlink down 3%. Nobody talks about Bitcoin Cash because it's trash. Internet Computer with a nice run up at 14%, 125% on the month. And overall, the market is kind of like a mixed bag. Some are moving decently or weren't as hit as hard. Because right now, Bitcoin is kind of in this consolidation phase. We're just hanging out, and we're going to jump in the charts in a little bit. Taking a look at the Bitcoin, let's take a look. Crypto Fear and Greed Index. Let's take a look. Won't be surprised if we drop down a little bit. Nothing really much changed yesterday. We were at 73 and now we are at 70. So overall sentiment is still positive, honestly. And I think there's just so much good to be looking forward to, like in terms of Bitcoin. There's just so much positive stuff going around Bitcoin. It's hard to kind of be negative about it. And I'll talk about like why I'm not too concerned about what Bitcoin's doing right now, because we've seen this before, and Bitcoin, from where it is now and where it'll go, if it continues to act and in the way that it has before, man, we are in for a treat for all you diamond handers, all of you who've gone through the terrible correction of 12 weeks. You know, we had this insane run up over the last year, and then we have this fall off period for a couple months, and then we have this awesome run up. Awesome run up. So I think we have a lot of good to look forward to. But let's jump into Bitcoin. Let's talk about what Bitcoin is doing. Let's talk about what Bitcoin has going for it. And if we're going to, let's just start on the hourly, because I think I want to prove a point here. Bitcoin right now is in the middle of forming this descending channel. And I'm not a TA artist, but it doesn't take a rocket scientist to say, hey, this is kind of looking like it's going down, right? We see that we got a high here, a lower high, a lower high, a lower high. We might be in the middle of forming another lower high. Maybe we get up to like 45,000 and then we continue to descend down. But where does it stop? Where does it stop? So we're going to jump into that in just a second. Now I want to pull out the 4-hour chart because the 4-hour chart actually demonstrates it a little bit clearer. We can see again on August 14th, we had a really good high up. And we went up to about 48,100, got down, we wicked up again to 48,000, got rejected, got pushed down, wicked up to 47, down, 46, down, 45, right? And now we're at 44,300. Now, descending channels are usually bullish when they break out. So now we have to wait for this breakout of this descending channel. But where is that? Where is that going to be? Now, I personally believe that I like to look on the higher time frames, right? I like to look at the daily, and I also like to look on the weekly. Right now, the weekly gives us a really good idea of where this might be going, right? So if we take a look at the weekly, we could see that, I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. Oh, I zoomed in a little too much. Okay. I'm going to do my best to kind of paint a picture for everyone listening. We see that this area of around $42,700 has been resistance. And I say that because back in this, the first week of January, where we had our major run up, we hit a new all-time high of 42,570. We got rejected there. There was probably a lot of people taking profits. And for 2 weeks after that, we went all the way up, got pushed down. We wicked down to 30,000, claiming new, we're testing lower lows or higher lows. And then we wicked down again to 28,800. So our previous wick lower 2 weeks prior was right around there. And we tested that area for support. And then we had to push through resistance. So we eventually do a couple of weeks after that, about a month later. So we got rejected from 42 at the beginning of January, got pushed down to 29,000. So $13,000 drop over the course of the next 3 weeks. These are wicks, so these are very, very quick. They didn't close around these levels. Then we pushed up, and then we tested the 40,000 area. We closed at 38,000. And then we pushed again, and we broke through those levels. So we've seen instances where we have a push-up, we have 2 weeks of consolidation and moving downwards, creating this descending channel, which is difficult to watch, especially like after a major correction like what we experienced for the last 2 weeks. People get antsy, but we ultimately see that it develops the springboard and creates this effect where we kind of just pull back, gain our energy, and whatever we need to go forward. We test this resistance turned into support. And I think that's what we're in the process of doing right now. We've pushed through this 42,000 area that was previously resistance and pushed it up. Now we have to go back, test it, and then go back up. I think that we're going to experience what we saw a couple of weeks ago. I'm going to pull up the daily chart where, we see this instance where we have a massive run up. We wicked up to 42,000. We got pushed back to 37,000. And then we continue to push forward. We continue to push forward, and we see a beautiful run up. Now, when we did this, it was about 5 days until we start to do a run up. And right now we are 1, 2, 3, 4 on our 6th day. So about a week in on this down descending channel. So I do think that we're probably, and I've mentioned this before, I'm a mega bull. I am the bullish bull on the moon, right? I'm up there. I'm hanging out with the other bulls, throwing bull parties. I wouldn't be surprised if we test this area of around 43,000 or 42,700 areas that were key levels of resistance turning into support, and then we blast off. I would not be surprised by that whatsoever. Now, there is an argument that can be made that we could actually go down to 30,700, 30,900, and test that, have a larger pullback, and then blast off. And I'm not going to say that's not possible, because anything is possible in crypto. You know what? We could very much, wake up tomorrow morning. Bitcoin could decide that 43,500, 43,800 was a dip enough, and then it'll go to 50K. Bitcoin could very much do that. I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin did do that, because everybody is calling for 43,000 or 42,700. But rarely ever does it ever happen exactly, right? Rarely ever does it ever happen like that exactly. And I think most people are probably, we either go a little bit lower than 42,700, maybe by 500 or 1,000, or we actually stay around 43,300. That's like the max point, and then we blast off. That could also happen as well. And honestly, we are only $1,000 away, $1,500 away. So that's what, another 2% down? I mean, it's not far-fetched to see that from happening. But I personally do believe that we're probably going to get down there and then blast off. That's what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments below. But I think there's just so much bullishness in the market right now. I think there's so much good news and just good stuff happening surrounding all of crypto. I mean, altcoins are getting to new all-time highs. That really doesn't happen in a bear market. In a bear market, everything dies. Like, everything is just like slashed off. And we're seeing alts perform so well. We have Cardano still over $2 performing very, very well. Binance Coin is up for whatever reason. Solana hitting all-time highs. Terra up 400%, still on its run. I think the overall crypto market has a voice, of course, and it's telling us that, that we have a lot of good coming for us. Bitcoin ultimately leads, and I think once we see Bitcoin starting to get back up, once we start to get out of this little period of consolidation, we're going to see some major run-ups, in my opinion. I think we're going to see this whole market go crazy. Once we're able to break the $48,000 mark and get into the 50,000s, I have no idea what's going to happen. I'm going to retire. No, I won't retire. But we'll see what happens. I think, like I mentioned just a few seconds ago, we have so much good momentum and energy, and you can just tell by the conversations on Twitter, they've become less toxic. It's still toxic, but less toxic. It's a lot more positiveness. There's a lot more positivity just overall in the market from the sentiment I get, from the engagement that I get. A lot of people are like, no, I think we're in a good run, and we could be right, we could be wrong. But I truly believe in following my instinct, following my gut, and I have a feeling that we're in for a treat. I truly believe that. Let's take a look at the market cap, because we didn't do that today. I love me looking at the market cap. Let's take a look. 1.89 trillion total. Not bad. We were at 2 trillion, so we had a little bit of a pullback, but that's to be expected, considering we were just crushing it for a while, with Bitcoin doing very, very well, and then we have Solana and other alts just freaking tearing it up. Let's take out the market without alts, or without Bitcoin. We're still over $1 trillion in just altcoin markets without Bitcoin. So Overall, everything is looking fine. Again, we've seen Bitcoin do this before, hence the title of this video. We've seen Bitcoin do a bit of a retracement, pull back, develop that catapult, develop that trampoline, and blast off. Personally, I'll be buying a little bit more if we get into the low 43,000s. I purchased some the other day, and I mentioned it on the YouTubes and on the podcast. I bought about not a lot. I took nibbles at around 44,500, and we're a little bit below that, but I want to see at least another like percent or two before I throw some more capital in there. And if it does dip down there, I'll probably be scooping up some alts along the way. I think it's always good if you're going to scoop up some alts, pick up some Bitcoin as well. You want to be able to hedge against, everything dipping a little bit. In case it happens. Who knows? Maybe it doesn't dip and we just go to the moon later today. There's still a lot of time left in the week, and I think what I want to see, and I think I want to leave off on this with Bitcoin in terms of what I want to see at the end of the week. I want to see Bitcoin, let's take a look. I want to see the weekly. I want to see the weekly close higher than where we are. If we can go, we're at 44,000. If we have our wick down to 43,000, but we're able to bounce back up to like 45,000 and just have a very, very small candle, I would love to see that. I think that's really, really good. I think that'll be awesome to see, and that will kind of tell us, the bulls are still, in the driver's seat. Can think of that for whatever reason. Love to know what you guys are thinking. Let me know in the comments down below. But some other good news that I want to bring up on the Bitcoin archive, the hash ribbon has been flashing buy for 10 days. What is the hash ribbon? Why is it so important? The last time it flashed blue on Bitcoin and went up 258%. That would take Bitcoin to 157,000 if we repeated those gains from here. I'm going to do a little bit more research in the hash ribbon personally because, again, I'm still learning as much as you guys are. But it's very interesting to take a look at this. If we take a look here, going all the way back in 2020, at the beginning of the year, we got the buy and we had a decent run up. But then this right here, this major drop off that you're looking at right now, this is COVID. This is a black swan event. Had Bitcoin been on a tear from the months of February and January, without COVID, it would have been on a continuous ride up. But we continue to see buy signals, in the months of May and July. And this is all before the major run up in November. And we also got a buy signal at the beginning of November. And when we do that, we see these major run ups where Bitcoin, going back after the crash of COVID last March, Bitcoin was at about $6,000, $7,000. We had that major flash crash down to 3,200. But from 6,000 all the way up to $65,000, a 10x. That's crazy. And from the buy signal that we got in December, we were just at about $15,000, about a 4x, 4.5x. That's crazy. Crazy. So we are getting this buy signal again on the hash ribbons, which have only, last time we've seen this flash blue, last time was in November. That is 9-10 months away, months ago. So that's crazy. If it continues to do this, and if the blue buy signal on the hash ribbons continues to stay accurate to the times before, Bitcoin would go up to 157K. That is basically a 4x from where we are right now, which is absolutely insane to think. Really exciting stuff. Other good news too, Palantir, they're a big tech, big data info company. Weird news, they said they were going to accept gold, random, but they're also going to be accepting Bitcoin. Weirdly enough, they're just notably the American company announced to be accepting Bitcoin as a form of payment and hedge against uncertainty before adding precious metals as well. You have to be prepared for a future with black swan events. Don't know what they're alluding to when they say this, maybe because of the Delta variant, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. But just cool to see more adoption going on. I mean, El Salvador next month coming in with accepting Bitcoin as legal tender. There's just a lot of positive stuff in the news going on. So let me know what you guys think. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Stay calm, stay ready. Get ready to buy some more Bitcoin in case we do get another dip. But other than that, have a great rest of your day. I'll see you guys later.